Okagonzoli ono nomugwa.
It's important for you to know one thing. Don't be ashamed of being a widow or divorced. Men need us. Without us, they can't have children. They can't have a family. We don't have to be submissive or confrontational. We should be the ones who demand respect. We do 90% of the work in the fields and the home, and we're proud of it. Be hard workers and carry yourselves with dignity.
As Amita says, women perform the majority of the physical labor in rural Uganda. But they do not only offer manpower. In Kagadi, with the support of the URDT, they have created cooperatives to set up new businesses. One of these creations is fish farms.
Group ya family eno ekatandika omwaka gw'olukumi olwenda.
We began organizing in 1989. We set up a group of agricultural businesses to raise vegetables: carrots, tomatoes, cabbage, cassava, sugarcane. Then came the fish farm.
Asumin manages a fund which distributes 80,000 euros a year in the form of microcredits to 500 local women.
I've achieved my dream. We worked tenaciously, and we've managed to stabilize our income. The investment is beginning to bear fruit. The result is that I've been able to send my 10 children to school. All of this guarantees the future of my children and those of the other women in the community. You all have a friend, a sister, or a cousin who's afraid of not getting a husband because she's a widow or divorced. Maybe it's you in this position. The way you do this is to be attractive to them. Let them see how you manage your cooperative, that you generate your own income, that your children are clean, and you yourselves are neat and tidy. If you do this, no man will be able to resist you.
The role of the radio is mainly social mobilization. We use the radio as a tool for social mobilization into community action. And the radio has helped us and is continuing to help us in disseminating information. In other words, broadcasting messages which reach a larger number of people, messages in agriculture, messages in human rights, messages in leadership.
We talk on different topics. Every time we come with different topics, like we can talk about hygiene in homes. And even then we could talk about discipline in schools. If a teacher comes and writes on the blackboard and yet he finds himself in does not shave, he does not brush his teeth. So instead of the kid or the pupil listening to what he's trying to tell him, it will just, because of his smelling, it will just put off the pupil instead of getting what he's teaching. I think when I say that information management, you understand what I mean.
In addition to the radio program, Amita gives computer classes to the children of the village of Kagadi.
Like to send an email or to get...
She is originally from Kampala, the nation's capital.
So I'm going to show you this one. Okay. Me, I'm a computer analyst and I like computing very much. And as a hobby, at least I come and play music. But what I think to do in future, what I like in my life, is to become someone who's, since I'm dealing with the computers, I'd like to be with a very strong machine, which is the computer. You surf internet, you go to music centers, you record, everything on the computer. And for example, our radio here is not working on the computer, but I would like also to be connected onto the computer.
Francis Oyo follows Amita faithfully. He has spent the last 40 years working in Murchison Falls National Park, where he offers guided wildlife safaris to tourists not far from the village of Kagadi.
I came here as a big boy, and I was trained by someone who was my pilot. He's very old now, also at home. In 1970, that's the time when I got a license for driving this boat. And later on, I was wounded also in the back during that time, in 1975.
They have a very strong teeth for lions. They can even keep the lions together.
We went for patrol. We confronted with some poachers who are having guns. So that's the time when I was hurt. During the war, when the war arrived in 1979, during the meantime when they were chasing a mean off, we all ran away from here. Animals were suffering very much, mostly elephants, buffaloes, hippos. The elephants were being killed for their ivories. They were killed for their meat. Used to the animals and the life with me, I like the animal life, to say the nature. I like the nature very much. That's why I've spent a lot of years here.
Another day has come to an end in the highlands, in the jungles, and along the rivers of our lovely country. Wherever you are, KKC and your friend Amita have been with you on the radio that walks beside you. This is the end of the program, but remember what I say every week. Don't forget to be free. It's your only obligation.
Africa is the continent with the least access to the internet on the entire planet. Despite this, the results of the virtual revolution are visible every day in Africa as well. For the first time, thousands of African students have the opportunity to access global information quickly and at a reasonable cost. Never before has the rest of the planet had so much information about Africa available in real time. If we punch the word Africa into a search engine, we will get more than 50 million hits. At the top of this list, we find Africa Online, the most complete site for general information about Africa, and the largest internet service provider on the continent. Once at the home page, we have access to information from every African country on a wide variety of subjects. Education, NGOs, art, health, women. If we click on women, we can find out, for example, how a group of female activists were arrested in Sudan, or the reasons for which the King of Swaziland has banned the wearing of miniskirts. Africa Online was the idea of a group of Kenyans living in the United States. In 1994, they returned to their country of origin to develop the site and set up a network of public internet access centers, the first cyber cafes in Africa. From any of these, it is possible to send an email for 10 euro cents, the cost of an envelope and pencil.